I'm back to review Sidewinders. You can find them on hairholder.com. I've been looking for an alternative to beads because, as I've said to you before, I think that over time the beads rubbing against the ends of the girl's hair is really damaging to their ends. So I've been looking for an alternative to beads, and I think the Sidewinders may be what I'm looking for. When I described what I wanted to do with the Sidewinder, the person I spoke to recommended that I put a bead on the end to hold the Sidewinder in place, which would defeat my purpose. So I developed a different method, a different technique of wrapping the ends of the African threaded style so that the Sidewinder will not slip off. So I'm going to show it to you right now. When I got the Sidewinders in the mail, they came in these little plastic bags, and they were sitting on top of these pliable straws. So when you get them, you just slide them right off the straw, and then you just twist them apart. You unscrew them apart and they come off. They come in different sizes. You can get them in 3 inches, 2 inches, or 1 inch. I have the 2 inch and the 1 inch. And what I like about them is they come in all the colors of the rainbow, and you can do different color combos. I really like the hot pink and orange combination. So this is a threaded style. I cornrowed the top, and then when I got to the part where it lifts off of the scalp, I threaded the rest of it all the way down to the end. You can watch my African threading video to see how I did that. So let me show you what I do to the ends. I left a little bit of string so that when it's time for me to take the style down, I'll be able to find the string and easily use a seam ripper. And I use that. It has a sharp edge right here, and I slip it under the thread and push a little bit, and it cuts it right very easily. It's much easier than using scissors. So what I do is I don't thread all the way to the ends. I leave some hair at the ends because I want to create a bulky package that will look like this. In order to do that, I coil the loose end like this. Then I fold the hair over to protect the ends. I don't want anything rubbing on the ends. I don't want the Sidewinder resting on the ends. You will lose some length by doing this, but the ends will remain protected. Once I fold the ends over like this, I take a piece of thread. I made it a little long so that I wouldn't run out for the demonstration, but you probably don't need to cut it this long. And I just wrap the middle of my bundle. See, this is my entire bundle. So I put the thread right in the middle and I wrap it around. Then I take my 2 loose ends and tie 3 knots. So this is my first knot, this is my second knot, and this is my third knot. And I do it this way because she's going to be playing, laying on her hair and everything else like that. And I really don't want her not to come loose. And I'm not worried about being able to take this out because I'm going to be using my seam ripper to do it. So when you finish wrapping the hair, it will look flat like this, but when the Sidewinder moves down, it will force it to flatten out like this and hold the Sidewinder in place. So you could do whatever design you like. For some of them, I did the 2 inch first, and then I left a space of hair, and then I did a 1 inch. You can stack them and make them as long or as short as you like. So here's how I do it. You take the hair and you just wind it around the Sidewinder like this. That's the first one. And you know, decide what position you want, where you want it to stay on the hair. As far as deciding what sections to do, the directional video says that you should use a pencil as your guide and make your sections the thickness of a pencil. So this is about the thickness of a pencil. I have done it where it was thicker than a pencil and it made it difficult for me to thread the Sidewinder on. So what you do to get the second color on, or if you don't want to do a second color, you can leave it like this, or you can do a second one in the same color. So I start at the end and I twist, twist, twist. Then see, if you do it the right size, it will easily wind its way up the hair until you're done. If you make it too fat, it will get stuck. But one good thing about this mechanism is if you hit a snag, you just need to twist it in the opposite direction. Maybe press the hair down and twist again to keep it moving. So this is one, and then I like to use a second shorter one for the ends. So I'll do pink first. Okay, just wrap it around. And then start at the end. You start where the piece that's on the hair ends or begins is where you start winding. Don't try to start winding in the middle because it'll get stuck. And then you just twist it on. And you can pull it down. And see that? I really like the color that it adds to the style. I think it can definitely replace beads as far as aesthetics. I liked how easy it was to put on. I liked how easy it is to take off. Once I take this thread off the ends, it slides right off, no problem. I like the fact that when it slides right off, I'm only dealing with 2 pieces this size or 2 pieces this size as opposed to 20 beads that can fly everywhere. I think that these will probably hold the color better than beads. I don't know if you've had beads for a long time, but depending on what kind of beads you have, they can fade, they can look dull. I'm not sure because this is my first time using the Sidewinder, but looking at it, I think it will hold its color. Some things that I struggled with. If you make this too fat, you will have a really hard time twisting it onto the hair. It will snag. When you try to pull it back out, it will snag. It's probably smarter to try to unwind the hair out. Another problem that I had was once your hands get greasy, this is probably not going to be an issue for people that are not using oil on the child's hair to do the style. But with this texture of hair, I always use oil so my hands are slick, and sometimes this becomes kind of slippery. So when I'm trying to twist it on, the oiliness makes it difficult for me to do that. So I have to keep stopping and wiping my hands to do it, to put it back on. And so that slows me down a little bit. A struggle I had with this daughter is her hair is extremely fine, and I wanted to keep the hair about pencil width because the flip side of doing it too thin is that it's hard to make the bundle so that the hair will stay on, and it's really loosey-goosey. This one is on the thinner side, but you see I had to make really large sections in order to get her braids to be this thick. MG2, whose hair is much thicker, I won't have that problem, I'm sure. I really like it. I plan on coming back at the end of the life of this style, hopefully about 2 weeks, to tell you what I thought, how I thought it went, how it held up. You may want to wait until then to try my method yourself to see how well it does. But anyway, check them out on hairholder.com. Be blessed.